Xperience Sessions. Xperience Sessions.
Welcome to another episode of Xperience Sessions. Joining me today is someone very special, all the way from Chicago, I think, Delhi, Chicago-based singer-songwriter Subhi. She spreads Indian music and culture abroad, and right now she's all set to release her second single, Wake Me Up. Subhi, hi, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi Nirja, thanks for having me.
Subhi, I think you have one of the most unique voices I've ever heard. It is so calming. Like, is that something that you worked on? Is that intentional for you?
You know, that's so funny. I hear that a lot. I mean, not the calming factor, but the factor that I have a very unique voice, and I don't feel that I have a unique voice. So I'm always like, what are you guys talking about? But it's very interesting why a lot of people feel my voice is unique, and also I think my style is unique, and I'm still trying to figure that out, why that's the case. But no, it's not something I have worked towards.
Oh, well, that's fine, because I don't think there's anything to change about it. I think it fits perfectly with you. Also seem like a really sweet person just from my first meeting with you. And it's a very interesting tone you have, and your music is very reflective of that as well. How do you decide on the arrangements of your songs?
So I think like sound is still something which I am constantly working with. I started off with Hindi, and my debut album was a Hindi pop jazz album, and I also call it my accidental album because I moved to Chicago, and Chicago is known for jazz and blues, and I just met a lot of jazz artists, and it was one of those things where we are like, chalo, let's see if this works out. And it worked out, and I just got people on board, and that's how the album happened. Like, it was all the instruments were live, and I think like in 2017 and 2018 I was in this zone where I was like, no, everything has to be organic. And if you listen to my album, my vocals are very, very dry. I have barely any reverb. There's zero auto tune. I was very like strict about keeping the sound very organic and using real instruments. But I think over a period of time, like since 2019 was the year where I revisited my sound, and I realized that I listen to a lot of pop, and I listen to a lot of modern pop, and I was like, that's what I'm listening to. Why am I not doing that? And so in 2020, I made a conscious effort where I moved from jazz to a little bit of folk. And then from folk, eventually now I'm moving towards a more contemporary minimalistic pop sound. And that's where I'm looking.
Okay, that's very exciting. And I want to give people a little bit of a taste of your voice and the way you sound. So could you sing a couple of lines of your first single, In My Way, for me?
Sure. Feeling like a stranger, holding all my hopes in a can of Coke. I wish I could change her. Now this memory calls me out. I never saw it. Paper thin, this heart could be so lost. Now that I want it, I wish I could turn the clock.
You really have such a mesmerizing voice, Subhi. So you guys should go stream the song In My Way as well. Now, I read somewhere that your songs are very experience based. So tell me a little bit about how In My Way came about, and now your second single, Wake Me Up, which is part of your EP coming out in 2021. Where do these songs come from? Do they come from a very emotional place?
Yeah, so both of them are very personal to me, and In My Ways is actually comes from a very vulnerable place, because In My Ways is a song about the fact that I was having a very hard time when I was trying to create a band, and being a female artist, and trying to create a brand for the first time where everyone else is a guy. I was working with this one guy, my musical director at that point, the guy who was doing my arrangements and stuff. He was very aggressive, and he was very strong and very dominating. And I think I somewhere felt very weak, and I felt very unsure about myself, and I just let him take over my project. And so In My Way is really a song about how I got in my own way of my own, my own inhibitions, and it took me a while to figure out, okay, how should I deal with this situation? How should I, come out to be a stronger person, and get rid of this person and get people who are more positive and more open to women being, taking charge in the
Yeah,
music industry.
just surround yourself with better people, basically.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's really what In My Way is about. It's a song about like figuring out what you could do to get out of your own way and be a better you.
That's amazing. And what about Wake Me Up? What is that all about?
So Wake Me Up is totally a song about current times. I was planning a trip to LA, and this was March of this year when we just heard about this pandemic taking over, and I wasn't sure if I should take the flight or not. Then finally, I did take the flight with sanitizers and all that sprays and everything. And we were really careful, even in the studio, we were very careful. And when I got there, I was actually going there to record another song. And Taylor Sparks was the producer. He said, no, let's work on what you're feeling right now. And that's how Wake Me Up came about. It's the darkest song on my EP, and the song is really about just trying to pull myself from the situation that we're all in. Like it's a time to wake ourselves up, basically.
I know, and I think spending all the time with ourselves that we have over this year has definitely made us a little more self-aware, I suppose. But what I want to know is, I read about this, what you went through with your musical director, and that your songs are very personal. Although the music reflects how you got out of it, what gave you the strength during this time to sort of be like, this is something I need to get away from?
It actually took me 2 years to realize that I need to get out of it. I think there was a point where I was like, okay, maybe I should just quit music,
Yeah.
And I think that was really the breaking point for me, when I realized that this is ridiculous. Like, I cannot let one person take over everything that I want to do in my life. And it was like those little things that just kept piling and piling and piling, and eventually it was like, the band had to break. And I think that was the moment where I snapped, and I was like, okay, I need to have the courage, and I need to like do something about it. I think it was also a very women oriented thing. Like, it's like, I'm sure there are a lot of other women who are going through this and who have gone through this. And so I think it was just, I think it needed to be done. So
that's amazing that you found the strength within yourself and just got out of it. And now we get to listen to more music from you. So it's a win-win situation, really. Finally, Subhi, a message for upcoming singer-songwriters right now. I think it's a very tough time, especially during this pandemic. If you are an artist, it's been difficult without the live gigs and without any of that. So what is maybe a message of hope you have for them?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a difficult time, and I'm sure we are all feeling it somewhere, in some way or the other. I would just say, the silver lining is that this is a year when people are listening to a lot of music. Everyone's at home, and we all need new content. I think this year, more than ever, people need to be out there and release, new singles. I'm trying to release a single. I've tried to release a single almost every month since March.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time just to sit at home and create. We are always gigging and we are out and about, and I think it's a good time to read and to to really hone our skills and to create. So I would just tell people, use this. This is, unfortunately, I shouldn't say this, but there's also a blessing in there, that use this time and kind of find your voice, find yourself, and more importantly, just find who you are and be true to yourself.
Amazing. All right. On that note, I want to get to know you a little bit more. So I'm going to play a rapid fire, and I'm calling it Sue, Be Yourself. All right.
Oh, so cute. I love it.
All right. So I have a few questions. Quick answers. Your go-to comfort food is?
Oh shit. It's Chinese.
Okay. Your current favorite artist is?
Oh, there are lots. I'm obsessed with Billie Eilish.
Okay. Your idea of a healthy relationship involves?
Both have to give and take. There has to be a balance.
All right. Your bag always carries?
Sanitizers.
Now it's changed. What about pre-lockdown? Sorry?
I'm sorry?
What about
Lipstick.
pre-pandemic? Lipstick. Okay.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, lipstick is the only thing I wear when I go out, and now it's like that's the one thing that I don't wear. So it's really funny.
All right. Your refrigerator always has.
Milk.
Okay. Your morning ritual as soon as you wake up is.
It's that I drink chai. I'm tea obsessed, but I'm trying to change it.
Okay. Well, that's why the milk is always in your fridge.
Yeah, has to be.
Okay. Finally, you want your music to make people feel.
I want my music to be meaningful. I want them to take a message out of it, whatever it means to them.
Amazing. Subhi, thank you so much for doing this with me. Your EP is out next year. Do we have any dates to look forward to?
Yeah, so it's going to be February 26th.
Okay.
That's when the EP is out, and both these songs are part of the EP. So, yeah.
All right. Very exciting times for you. Thank you for doing this with us, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Nirja. This was awesome. I had a great time.
Me too. Well, that was another fantastic conversation on Xperience Sessions. If you want to catch more content like this, make sure to stay tuned on indigomusic.com. Bye.